Welcome to the journey. I'm your host, Corey, and you're listening on Oneness Talk Radio, coming to you live from the Big Island of Hawaii. Enjoying a beautiful, little bit windy, sunny, a little bit of clouds, beautiful ocean. Welcome you as we are bringing your show to you today, and we are shattering the illusion together. And the show today is about creating your best life from your ascended presence. And let's not forget, you're listening on Oneness Talk Radio, coming to you live, and sending out a big thanks and aloha for everyone joining me today. It's a great day to be alive and keep going and not stopping and loving the moment and moving through the challenges and just keep going. And just want to set out a thank you to Sri Ram Ka and Master Lady Kira Ra for always inspiring me and creating great community is always inspiring and helps to keep me going all the time. Just want to say thank you, and to the Self-Ascension community of light and all of the communities of light around the planet that are helping assist in bringing in more balance in a time of very interesting times of that culmination of that separation consciousness and that fear-driven society that is shifting and is experiencing the birthing pains as we come into a new paradigm, and where allness is moving into the oneness. And thank goodness for that. And as we all get to stretch ourselves a little bit energetically, and a lot going on the planet right now, we are really, that new moon brought in so much energy, and as we are in this waxing energy right now, I looked up last night and in the sky and saw that Shiva moon and that first little crescent that's out there and is waxing and propelling us into the new paradigm and the new earth. And here we are, here we go. And so creating your best life, as I'm creating my best life and getting the obstacles out of the way and having the experience of those and really getting down to what's really going on and exploring thyself, right? Know thyself is so important on the journey of life, and awakening is to really know who we are, where we've been, and touching into that and healing with that which can hold us back a lot of times. And so it's really important to really look within, see what's going on, and just go with it. And the reason I chose this topic today is we're in such a really a time of just escalating energy and so much happening in the outer world, and a lot of fear and speculation and projections of fear into the future. And so it's good to be careful of what our consciousness is creating. And so let's create our best life and move from that state of, or even that's just that belief system or that programming about really living in that fear and being afraid of everything. And it's just, we've all grown up in it. It's density. It's that density paradigm that we've all been in and grew up in and are moving through and stretching through and finding our way. And that can be a pretty good challenge, but we're up for it because that's how amazing we are. And we can create miracles, and there's so many tools we can use, and we'll definitely talk about a few tools on the show today. And so, yeah, creating your best life and really the amplification of everything into the allness of right now. And so everything's being amplified. Everything's getting that boost of energy. It's an amplification. And so what are we amplifying? What are we building up to? And I guess each one of us should ask that question. Is what are we amplifying? Are we amplifying that fear? Are we amplifying that love? Somewhere in between. It's not a judgment. It's just to look within and check within and, where am I and what am I paying attention to? And really about shattering the illusion, because that's really what the journey's about. That's something that I picked for my show, is just really about shattering the illusion, because there is so much illusion out there. And it's beautiful. And also we can shatter that illusion and create the paradigm that we want to live, co-creating the blessing of the individual that we are. And so, yeah, it takes practice, it takes focus, and I'm always on that journey and paying attention to what I'm feeling. And over time, it seems to get easier for me as I am becoming more and more aware of my thoughts and my feelings and my projections, and where they're coming from, and getting down, really down to the to the root of where these things came from and how we can move through them. And so if we can work on healing or clearing the things that are not serving our higher purpose, and maybe they propel us and they give us the experience so we can teach others how to do that, from that place of experience, and also from connecting with the divine source and that wisdom, that endless expansion that's available to every single being. And so really tapping into that. And so, yeah, creating our best life. And it does take that, that steadfast commitment and that trust, and really just sticking with it and really finding out what's going on inside, and I noticed a lot of energy coming up this past week, and a lot of second and third chakra, as well as that crown chakra and the truth chakra really showing up, and really just giving us the signal that, there are things there that we can clear and love and bring into alignment, so we can really be flow and really allow that prana to move through us. Otherwise, we get stuck with energies and things that, can make us, ill or dis-ease or just out of alignment. And so it's so nice to be able to allow the prana to move and know that it's moving in a direction that will heal us and help heal our world. Because really, that is the moment we're at, where we are the ones we've been waiting for. I think it's the Hopi proverb of we are the ones we've been waiting for. There's no saving, there's not, I don't think there's a spaceship coming down to save us all. And maybe some believe that, and maybe it's possible, but we are in charge of our own consciousness. And so as we wake up, we become more and more aware. And as we trust ourselves, that third chakra trust, that balanced third chakra, about empowerment and knowing that we are the creators, we are the ones we've been waiting for, and we're co-creating with the grand creation, and we have a part to play. We have a beautiful part to play. And as we are awakening to that awakened, what I call the awakened conscious creation, and that's just being awake and conscious of what is happening in the mind, and our consciousness, and what's, what we're projecting, what we're thinking, all those things, what we're feeling, to be in touch with those and find out, hey, are those in balance? And when they are in balance, I think that's when the miracles really start happening, and the cloudy vision clears out, and you can really see that sunshine, that eternal sunshine shining, that central sun experience, and the full bliss and energy of all that is coming into our lives, and allowing us to be really empowered and to help create the new vibration, or could be called old, new, probably not the best words because it's always been there. It's just a reawakening from a cycle of separation consciousness, right? The Kali Yuga, where the lie can be the truth and the truth can be the lie, and so it's all kind of topsy-turvy. And we've been seeing a lot of that lately, haven't we, in the outside paradigm, that density consciousness, really tricky. You really have to be in touch with your heart and your vision and your crown and your wisdom. So important to be in that space right now. Otherwise, it's so easy to be misled down a road that that can, and it is oftentimes an experience that leads us to greater wisdom as well. So there's no wrong choice, but we can really take hold of our own consciousness and create the life that we dream of. And so I really believe this, and I've been working on that myself and watching different things shift in my life, and things are happening, and things that I never thought, 10 years ago, I would have never dreamed I'd be back in Hawaii and doing my healing work, and having my beloved in my life, and just a lot of things, that I could never really have been conscious of 10 years ago. And so, yeah, so everything can come into alignment. And it's just practice and trust, trusting yourself. Always trust in the love that you are, because you are that love, essential energy of the universe that's always available. And it's a matter of just orienting ourselves into that frequency, and for me, it's taken me many years to be able to be in that space more often. And a lot of work, of clearing things out and loving those experiences and loving myself and loving others. And, the 4 steps of self-ascension, like releasing judgment and be in union, and can't think of the other 2 right now. Sorry. Drawing a blank here. It happens quite a bit when I'm multidimensionally happening. And so different things happen. But being in union and releasing judgment, and, these things really help just guide us to understand what the ingredients are, the essential ingredients to really free us to be all that we can be, and expand into that multidimensional presence that we already are, and just been, maybe just over here for a while, and maybe just here for a while, and just having that experience, and the energies that seem to be nudging us, or sometimes just downright kicking us down and kicking us in the head sometimes, is giving us this rise, and sometimes it's a fall, but then you get back up and you rise, and maybe you fall down a little bit and then you get back up, and then we have these realizations. And I know for me, I had some hard knocks at times, and just because the ego and some of the patterns, that it can be there from childhood, high school, parents, family, biological family, social norms, just all the stuff we're surrounded with in density consciousness. And when we become more clear on what it is true for us right here, then we can really be free to really live the life of our dreams. And so, today talking about creating our best life, and so much happening. So it's up to us to bring the balance in and experience. And so important that we are aware of what we're still holding on to that really is not in balance, and it's about looking inside. And I've known from myself, and having many clients in my medical intuitive practice and healing practice, and watching just the levels of consciousness and the levels of layers that we have that we just can't see out of. It's kind of like having this big fog around us. And it's amazing how the blinders, like the horses have, just there's just this, but there's really this, right? There's all this happening. But when we are in a certain level of consciousness, especially with the ego telling us to be afraid or to do this or do that, it can be a challenge to see out. And so sometimes we need to have a practice, or we do need to have a practice, a meditation every day, a spiritual practice, plant medicine, so breath work. There's just so many things we can do that really can help us break out of that and blow out the glass ceiling, blow out the layers of all these layers of paradigm belief systems that we are really surrounded with, in layers. And sometimes it takes a little bit of time, and sometimes it happens instantaneous. And depending on the situation of life and what you're doing, and your soul path, everybody has a different way that they're doing it, which is beautiful. Everybody's got their individual path to the divine, which is amazing. And I really respect all the beings and on their journey, and no matter what their orientation is. But here we're really talking about creating our dream life and being in alignment with love and the vibration of trust and love and light. And so that's what we're talking about here today. And the lower 3 chakras, the traditional chakras, you got your first and second and third chakras starting at the bottom of the spine and up to the second chakra, right around below the belly button, and then the solar plexus as that third chakra. A lot of these density frequencies are held here, and it's just old paradigm. It's just memory. It's energy that's been stuck there, an orientation for coping with being on the planet, being in whether it's family or teachers or just generally being in the world and doing our best to get through. And sometimes we all the time, or mostly, yeah, we just get stuck with a lot of energies that we're meant to work through and get the experience and wisdom through working through those energies of being in that separation consciousness that we've been born into, that density consciousness. And so we get the opportunity to work through these things. And so the first three chakras really hold a lot of energy. You know, that first chakra is really about, you know, that safety, you know, talking about the traditional sense of the chakra compared to like the ascended sense of the chakra. And so, you know, that first chakra can be that constant fear, that constant safety issues, the preoccupations, and usually based upon an experience when you were young or even past life can have, you know, can really mix in with these kind of things as well. And so it's important that we really look at these things. And the first chakra, like I was saying, can be that fear energy. It can be this, you know, worried about your safety, and they can be what would be really unconscious. And unconscious to an understanding of being aware of what it is. And that's just our pattern. That's what we do. That's what we know. That's what the way our body has able to like move us through our lives. And so, but there's a different way to do it that can be more effective and more freeing and more creative towards something that we truly want. And so the first chakra and then up to the second chakra is really it's really about love in the ascended sense. And it's really about, you know, that sex and intimacy. This is kind of where the addictions hang out, intimacy issues, and really is the creation center. You know, this is where the dreams are birthed in this area. And so this is that creation portal, really. And so if we are able to, as we focus on these areas and really clear out some of the things that may be, you know, keeping it clogged up, so to say, not in balance. And oftentimes we can feel that through different issues, the reproductive system and some of these things in that area, we will notice these things. And then the third chakra, the power issues, you know, the misuse of power or the under, you know, being under empowered, you know, where you're just not able to really bring yourself out into the world. And that was something that I dealt with for a long time, and seeing so much misuse of power in the world that I oriented towards, you know, tone it down, you know. And so there's a balance with everything. And so, yeah, so as we're looking at these lower chakras, it's important, especially the first chakra is all about that Shakti, bringing that energy up into form from the planet and really bringing into a lot of abundance and really being able to find that real balance and that serving from an abundant spirit, doing things that we love and that serve the greater whole. And that's what brings really that first chakra into balance, and that really owning who you are, you know, really owning who you are and being comfortable in your skin and loving yourself is all part of that beingness of that chakra of at the root there, at the traditional root. And then the second chakra, back to the second chakra, and we're kind of just going through and just talking a little bit about, you know, the issues that may cause them to be imbalanced or the density overlays on these chakras that just have more to do with being in density and things that may have clinged on, you might say, Klingons, or just programming and energy that gets stuck there for a while and just needs a little love, you know, and sometimes it needs practice, it needs love, sometimes it's therapy and, you know, chakra balancing, and each individual is different. And for me, you know, it took a lot of, and still in that process, of course, and, you know, doing a lot of classes and workshop and breath work and plant medicine, and coming from that place of, you know, disempowered energy as a child, and that place of just, you know, that victim energy, a lot of that, and being able to move through that. It takes a lot of dedication and practice, but the benefits are immense. I mean, it's just like so free to be able to do that. And so the third chakra is the ability to trust, to be able to move forward and be empowered, that trusting yourself, really trusting to be empowered, to get out there and be able to cut your way through the world, or I don't know if cut's the best way, but it's really that empowered love. You know, when we bring the third chakra with the heart chakra, that third chakra is kind of like that, almost that driver. It's going to drive us. And then if we have the love balance there, and then we are empowered love. And that is a really beautifully strong place to be sitting, especially in a world that is vibrating at such an amplified state of whatever at whatever consciousness level, everything's being amplified, whether it's, so-called non-light or light, those all are empowered right now. So it's important that we up our energy system and bring that balance in. So we are vibrating at a higher frequency. And so you got this, this vibration happening, and it emanates out to the world and really helps bring in so much balance for a world that could use a little balance, when things seem to be so lopsided, and that's part of the Kali Yuga experience, of course, but we are moving into a new era. And so it's important that we come together with our communities of light and do our work and be the masters that we are. And there's all the masters are showing up right now, whether it's a master of love and light or a master of deception, illusion, delusion, all that stuff. All the masters are showing up right now. Everybody's getting that extra amp. And so what are we doing? And so, we're doing the work. We're having a good time. We're moving through the challenges, and sometimes it's not a good time. But at the end, there's always a gift, and that's the key. There's always a gift in every experience. And so that's important, to remember that, because a lot of times, a lot of us, and myself included, can get depressed. You look at happening and things that are happening, and you're like, oh man, you kind of collapse. And then you're like, okay, what else? What's the signal here? Let's look deeper into this. What is this telling me? What are all these outside things telling me? And for me, usually it's just a reminder that things are ready to shift, and we just have a world that's been in fear and separation consciousness for so long, and it's being amplified now. And so those of us that are doing the light work can really, really shine right now and really help others that are really ready to make that jump to light speed into the new paradigm, And so how do we get there? It's so important to ask, how can I heal? How can I heal? And that's a big question. I know it's a pretty loaded question. So, but there are so many ways, there's so many options, there's so many great teachers out there. And so it's important that we find our path that's really works for what we're doing and what aligns with you and resonates with you when you find it, And for me, it's been Self-Ascension. It's been an incredible path with a few other teachings and things from different philosophers and spiritual teachers and Yogananda and quite a few. And so find your path and stick with it for a while. And so for the healing, coming back to really what I do a lot in my show is just talk about, coming back to the heart, just placing a hand on heart. It's just a way to really calm the nervous system down. Putting a hand on the heart is just bringing that attention to that area. And the heart is that place of love and self-love and worldly love and love for your brothers and sisters out there and all beings, and just being in that space and that loving embrace, and to breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth and just be in the heart space. And I'm just going to go ahead and take a breath since we're right here on the heart, and just in through the nose and out the mouth with some sound. And if you want to try one of those, go ahead and take a deep breath. But it's so amazing what it does, because it really does, the true balance comes in on the breath. It really brings us back to that balanced state of being, because it just really sends a signal inside that says, hey, everything's okay. You're a being of divine light and love. Let's be here now. And so it really just helps calm us down and calms the nervous system down. And I think this is a great start for any practice, whether you're starting your meditation, your yoga practice, your Tai Chi, your spiritual practice. Driving in the car, one hand on the steering wheel, one hand on the heart, be careful. But I do that sometimes. And I'm in breath, breath while driving. People, how it is out there when you're driving, it can be crazy. So just getting that space is a really important start to our healing experience. And balancing the chakras, because the chakras are those centers of energy. And I spent quite a bit of time on that already, just talking about, how the chakras can have these energy experiences there that are almost like a program that just keeps running. And we can really work with them and move energy. And so that energy is not stuck. and it's constantly moving. And if we can move it in a direction that's really for the upliftment and the heart space and bring the love there, and you can get a chakra balancing, like an Avesa balancing, which balances all the chakras. It takes them from that whirlpool into infinite, and brings all that emerald green energy in there. And we're going to do maybe just a short one here in a second, just to bring some extra energy there, because I know that lately there's just been so much amplification of energy and so much things being put out, amplified, and a lot of it's fear, and interference and all that good stuff. Well, just stuff, and we have the ability to find the space here and come into balance with our chakras, and then we can really employ and bring online our full potential into that empowerment, that energy to expand and help others. And it's a great space to be. So chakra balancing is a great way. And so let's just take a moment and be in the heart chakra and just notice in the center of your chest, that beautiful heart, not quite center, but the whole chakra is really, it really is across the whole way, with that infinite energy running across the whole thing. So getting a hand to the heart and bringing in that infinite horizontal symbol right into the center of your heart. And as you notice it, it's circulating with the infinite energy of the emerald green, in that infinity emerald green love energy that is all right there. And as you allow that to spin and feel that and feel the love that you're made of, now allow another infinite to come in that's gold. And the gold is in the vertical position, and it comes in and locks in with that other horizontal infinite that's the green. So you have the green, and then you have the gold and the vertical, and they lock together and they spiral together. They move in that infinite. And so now you have this golden, green, beautiful, emanating energy that just wakens the heart up to who we really are, and that bring on that love space. And so allowing that to spin and just really move and heal and be in that all-encompassing energy of love and light. And as you are there, make a card, like a copy of that infinite green, that horizontal infinite green, infinite, and bring one of those all the way down to the first chakra at the base of the spine, and just let that green infinite spin at what we would call the traditional root chakra. Letting that spin there for a moment, and just letting it clean and clear, and letting any debris that might be there, any stuck stuff, and letting that just move, and allowing yourself to really be here now, and in your beingness and the love of who you are, and comfortable in your own skin, and just let that energy just be healed and vibrating at that level of the love vibration. And feel that. Maybe take a breath. So, and allow another green infinite copy to come out of the heart chakra, and allow it to come down just below the belly button there, right down to that traditional second chakra, and allow that infinite green to just spiral there. I should say, just to flow in that infinite energy of the emerald green, and just letting it clean and clear the energy in that area, bringing that balance in, letting any of the other stuff just rest, and just being in that really beautiful balance, and feeling the beautiful cycles of the personal cycles of our lives, to be in balance. There's always things that linger there. So if we can really be in the balance and that healing vibration, and bringing that love into it, whatever's back there in the past or whatever we think's there, just let that heal and clean and clear, and just letting it be, and letting it be love that you are, and knowing how loved you are. Allowing that to happen and continue. Maybe take another deep breath. And now we allow Another infinite symbol copy to come out of the heart chakra. Bring it right down to the solar plexus, just below the rib cage there, and allow that to move in that infinite emerald green, healing, clearing, loving that power center, that beautiful empowerment that really gives you that boost. Really gives you that boost to be out in the world and doing your work, and that empowered love. Let it be empowered love, and just allow that to move in the infinite. Just letting it clean and clear, and knowing you are complete in that area. Bring your hand back to your heart. Take another deep breath. Yes. There we are. All right. Yeah. And so the 3 chakras down below, and as we know, there's more chakras, but those are really important to bring into balance, and so that we can be all here in the heart. And that way, when those are balanced, those are our foundation, mostly for the body. When those lower 3 are balanced, and this heart chakra is that real, the root chakra, the true root chakra, that can deliver us into that multidimensional beingness. It really is the fuel that brings us up into the ascended chakras and that divine galactic blueprint, which is that vehicle for multidimensional beingness that you are. And just a reminder of that's what we are, and that we have the tools, we have the technology, so we have it, it's in us, and we're connected to this beautiful, the true internet, right? We're all connected. It's kind of like how all the plants and everything in the mycelia connects the trees and the flowers and everything has a network, and it's all energetic. And so the true internet, the true grid, the true energetic love of everything, allness, the oneness that connects everything, it's one energy. We've only just been living in that other place, that the separation stuff, but now we get to culminate and move into that oneness. And so balancing the lower chakra is so important. Great place to start, and that gives us the ability to not be so pulled this way and that way with those chakras, and that way we can really be in the heart and in the truth and in our vision and in our wisdom and into our multidimensional expression. And so a great key today, we're talking about creating our dream life, creating the life we would like to live, creating your best life, or best self, and just really be embracing all that we are. And so one of the things that's really important that I want to talk about today is just love and forgiveness. If we have the love and the forgiveness, it really continues to free the lower chakras that may have that programming or that energy that would be maybe would look differently or feel differently, or running a software that might bring us out of that space of the heart and into that more to continue in that separation energy, which is an illusion. A great teacher, but also we have a choice. And so talking about love and forgiveness, and a practice that I came across a few years ago here in Hawaii, was from the Hawaiian traditions, Ho'oponopono. It also means correction. And it's basically about forgiveness and love and thank you, gratitude, and so to repeat. It's 4 sets of mantras that you do, real simple. And this repetition of the Ho'oponopono, it's spelled Ho'oponopono, Ho'oponopono. And you repeat, I am sorry, please forgive me, thank you, and I love you. And so what it does is it's a reprogramming of the mind and the energy fields that may, cause you to be pulled out into different directions, and so And it really reprograms like the subconsciousness for better healing, love and forgiveness, and energetic congestions that can really be cleared out by working with this Ho'oponopono. And it's really just a way to rebalance energy that on our planet and the density vibration that can have us in other directions, where we're, indifferent than the heart and the love, and more in that fear and competition, constantly fighting against something, or, so Ho'oponopono, and it basically goes like this. You start with, I'm sorry. And you can pick something, you can pick a specific thing, or you can just allow it to embrace all in your life. So it's, I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. And so this is a great way to release energy, especially from those lower chakras that feel that we've been persecuted against, or just a lot of things. And it's all about forgiving ourselves and forgiving others, and thanking ourselves and thanking others and thanking the divine, and so many different approaches. But by just repeating, I am sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you. I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you. I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you. And so there it is. And that is the Ho'oponopono. And I saying sorry in different ways, it's kind of just to let things go. Whether it's I'm sorry for this or that, or an addiction I've had, or something I've done maybe, or that I felt, guilty about, or something. And just, there's the I am sorry, I'm sorry. And then the forgiveness process. And, don't worry about what you're asking. It's just about just a general energy going out. Please forgive me. Say it over and over, mean it. Remember to just please forgive me. And then, of course, thank you. Thanking the house you live in, the land you live in, Mother Nature, the planet, the divine. Thanking all those things is so important. That gratitude is really attitude, gratitude, attitude, and then I love you, of course. I love you and breathe, and I have so much shelter, and I have these things in my life, and I love it, and I love you for being there for me in these different ways. So I am sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you. And so this is a great thing that can bring you really into balance. It's a lot like this, putting the hand on the heart, and breathing, and then doing the Ho'oponopono. And it's a rebalance, really, is what it is. And I find it to be particularly powerful. And even just saying it 4 times out loud really helps, and really just helps dissipate things that may be trying to come in or eat at us inside. And it's a correction. It's allowing a rebalance. So Ho'oponopono, great. So getting back to creating the life we want to live, creating your best life, creating your best self. It's just more of a remembrance, because we already are that self. We just been in the illusion and been spun around a little bit and twisted and turns and all these things. And so we don't have to really recognize. I mean, we do have to recognize what's happening, with the mind. And the mind creates thoughts, and then thoughts create feeling, right? You have mind and thought and feeling that come through. And as we have the mind, thought, feeling, it goes into creation. It goes out to be manifested. We live in the ultimate feedback system. And so as each thought, feeling, the mind is a prayer, basically, no matter what it is. It doesn't matter, because we live in the free will zone, right? So therefore, anything can be created, and that includes whether it's shadow or light or everything in between. So what are we thinking? What are we creating? Mind, thought, and feeling. And that feeling really comes back down to some of the heart energy and also that second chakra and that creation, right? So if we're creating, fear or thoughts or judgments, then it's going out and creating the environment that we're in, and then co-creating with everything. And so we are swimming when we're in density, where we've been born into. Then we're kind of swimming in that fear pool. As we lift up and we let go of the judgment and forgive ourselves and love our fellow humans and beings and all of it, then that's what allows us to lift. Otherwise, we're just going to be down here in the chakras, down in the density more, and spending time there until we really heal those areas and be in the heart and have that rocket fuel that will lift us into the ascension. And a lot of us are doing that already. A lot of beings are doing this already, and so it's nice that when we do it, then we can help others and understand that. Of course, if they ask, it's something that you would enjoy or would like to heal, because a lot of people are in pain, a lot of people are in fear, and I've experienced all those. Most of us have, and continuing to have experiences. But over time, the creation comes online, that awakened conscious creation. And that just means basically that we are awake and conscious of our creation. Therefore, we're able to play our part in an awakened way. We're able to create and manifest from that space of being awake, and in that space of love and truth and wisdom. And so this is a great place to be. And really talking about, these different chakras and things and the creation. That second chakra is really, really about creating. It's about that creation principle. It's about birthing your dreams. So what are we birthing? Because we got to ask ourselves. And when we ask that question, we become more aware over time, more and more. And it could be instantaneous for you. For me, it's taking some time. I'm not going to tell you how long it takes for each person, but for me, it's been a process, and most of us, it's a process. But not going to say, hey, some of these new folks coming in or these youngsters, they can boom, and maybe they don't even have they might not even get the programming as much as we did, being born into the time periods and the time zones that we were born into, where it was denser, and the different lessons that we get, which is a blessing too. We move through that as well. And so it's different for everyone. And so it could be like that for some, and so whatever it is for you, just trust that. And it's a good thing. And so, so letting go, birthing our dreams. And what are we birthing? Are we continuing the self-judgment and the pictures from the past, the illusions, and there's hurt and there's things. But if we can heal those and forgive those, then we can free our energy to be up and about, and we are in that zone of creation and that vortex and energy, and beautiful. And so most important is looking, letting go of those painful pictures from the past that a lot of us get stuck in. And that's true for me, and taking a while to really release all of them. And over time, more and more layers come off. That's what I've noticed. And then depending on how focused I am and how much I'm doing my work and working on myself, which is a lot these days, and it feels really good. And as the programs come up, we can just, once again, hand on heart. And a great thing to do is just hand on heart, left hand on the heart, knowing that is the love center, the healing center. And then you can take the right hand and put it right on the second chakra, just below the belly button. And if there's painful past pictures there and, things we don't like about ourselves, then just send some love there from your heart. Let the heart send that energy down into the second chakra, and just let it flow from the heart through the hand, up the arm, over the shoulders, and down the other side to that right hand and right into your belly. And just letting that's a great way to just really send the love there. If you're just feeling yucky and not sure, you're feeling the guilt and whatever it is down there, just let it flow from your heart and just fill it up with light. And that's what happens. We can really fill it out with light. And another one is that you can employ that a lot of people in the Self-Ascension community know, and there's other practices that can do this, but is the container practice. You can find that at selfascension.com or shrinkira.com, and they have the container practice, which I use a lot. And that's a good way to just really just flush out the whole chakra system. So check that out. I'm not going to do that one today, but so you can just bring that heart energy right into the second chakra, right in the belly. So this is a good start to really heal and to bring that heart energy of love right into the belly in that second chakra. And so as we do that, we are able to be in that balanced creation. Basically that energy that's not being clouded or distracted or pulled in different ways, where you're not getting the full energy flow of that creation that you're looking for, and that you're with your vision of. So that's important. And that's another point I wanted to make was really about the second chakra is really connected with your third eye. Because we have the second chakra that's all about birthing your dreams, and then you have this third eye energy, which is all about your vision and kind of like bringing your vision out into the world and creating it into the greater field of energy. And so doing that is a powerful thing, connecting those two, because they work together. And I learned that through the Evasive Medical Intuitive with Sri Ramka, and there's a lot of good information there. So it's a great way to connect the second chakra, the birthing, that creation, with your vision. And your vision creates reality, your own vibrational reality, which is in conjunction with the greater context of the greater consciousness of all the co-creators that are out there, as well as the divine, which encompasses it all and makes it all possible, right? And so a good thing to do as well as with the chakras, and evasive chakra balancing is really good, and some of the forgiveness work. We did the Ho'oponopono is great. If you look at my show page and want to write to me, I can do the evasive chakra balancings long distance, and some of the evasive medical intuitive work is about the forgiveness work, and a whole lot of other goodies. If you need some extra guidance, which I have along the way, I'm available to do that remotely and by Zoom and things like that, and to really get those chakras in balance in a lot of ways. And so, so check out my show page if you get a chance, and if you'd like to write to me, or even a question's good too. And so, talking about the second chakra in balance with your third eye, and really just releasing those old pictures of self, and really being in that third eye, and releasing that biological, paradigms, the family paradigms, the biological kind of stuff that, belief systems that can hold us back, so really being clear in your vision and not allowing that to be clouded. Biological partners can block that individual will that you are, and connecting with your spiritual family is so important. And as we allow some of those paradigms or those programmings that may have come in through family and things that, were just passed down from denser experiences, and we have the opportunity to clear those. And I feel like it's kind of my duty to do that, So we can birth and create from a balanced state of being. And this is what I'm talking about today. It's all about creating your best life, creating your best self, so you can be in the world and do what you want to do in the world, and love it, and create that joy and bliss, and that emanates to everyone and everything. So working from that field, and that really emanates out. And that's something to remember, that we are that important, because we have the ability to do that. And is what I was talking to Bria Rose the other day, and I was saying, the most important thing I feel that a human being can do is be awake, because then we can help balance the energy of the world and emanate more joy and light. And by doing that, you are able to create the new earth, or help create the new earth, and the paradigms, and the multidimensional, and reconnection with all the multidimensional energies, which is endless, infinite energy, that anything was possible. And that means that less suffering, less pain, that kind of thing in the world. And I know all that's necessary for growth, but we can also be done with it when we're ready and had enough of those experiences where it's time to move forward and be in the golden age, the new paradigm, the new earth, the Gaia, and keep moving, and ignite. And so, I kind of just checking my notes here and just really just letting go of the old beliefs and dogmatic traditions that can be cleared out, and bringing in our best self, our best vision, our life purpose, and being in our life purpose and taking action in that. There's nothing better. I know when I'm doing my healing work and I'm working with clients and things, it's just nothing better. I just feel like I'm just glowing and vibrating so high all the time. And it's a great space to be when you're doing, you know what you're supposed to be doing and you're doing it. And you're able to have the courage to step into it. And that's a process for me too. It's like, really getting into that space it's great. It's a great space to be in. And being awake to that connection with the source energy, or, that informed state of that wisdom of the divine that just is infinite, is coming into us and becoming that ascended self, that wise adult, which we already are, but it's more of just like an awakening to it. It's an endless energy of wisdom. I mean, it's just like infinite. You think that a book or a TV show or a documentary, those are all great, but man, you could have an infinite, endless energy through your crown chakra, your exploded crown chakra, and the multidimensional multiverse, I should say. And then it's all available. Everything is possible and exists. It's all available, just as long as we are focused and in that energy and in that space of the heart and in that vision, wisdom, golden, violet, infinite frequency of the ascended states. They're so beautiful. And so another great practice, I'm running out of time here. A practice for the crown chakra is really just a visualization you can do is just expanding beyond the physical boundaries to experience divine presence. And that always starts with a hand on heart. And as I am running out of time here today, I think next week we'll do a aura stretching exercise, a cosmic aura stretching exercise. And I'm going to save it for next week just because the time went really fast here today. And I'm just staring out at a beautiful blue Hawaii ocean and some palm trees, and the wind's moving beautifully and good air. And so I'm sending all that love of aloha spirit out to everyone on the listening to the show today, and just feeling the love and the presence and knowing that we're better together and working together and clearing out things that no longer serve us, and we become more empowered that way, and in that empowered love that the world is so needing and wanting, and can make a huge difference for so many people that are ready for that energy, and some don't know it yet, but a lot do, and a lot of people reaching out and are ready to transcend that fear. And so here we are, ready to do that, and are doing that. So I should say we are doing that now. And thank you for doing that. Thank you for being an awakened, conscious creator, and being in that space. And just by sitting in your chair and meditating in your yard and doing your yoga and even just doing those things really helps shift the energy into the light and energy that is, and can really, really balance a world that could use a little extra balance, and offer those who want more and don't know what it is yet. And just by us just emanating that beautiful consciousness, those people are able to experience that. And just by even just a smile, just a smile on the street and sending out the love from your heart when you're out there, it's a great thing to do. And so I'm grateful for your presence. Namaste, aloha, and keep breathing, keep moving forward. Many blessings. Thank you.